Well, 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 we are back again. That's right, the face you wanted to see. Apparently, me starting the show gets way more viewers in here, has way more clicks. It's a prettier face. The people love to see it more. It is what it is. Here I am again. The king, the source, the one who gets it done. Mr. Intel is back again. That's right. First things first, let's get it out the way. Welcome back to the number one MMA commentary channel on YouTube. Shout out to Miller. Second of all, all right. You want to get the elephant out of the way? You want to get the elephant in the room out the way? Let's talk about it then. Because I know that's what everybody wants to come in here and get disrespectful about. I know that's what everybody's chiming in about. I've already seen a little bit of the earlier show. Thought it was all right, it wasn't good. I was going to say it was decent. I thought it was okay, but it wasn't good. Let's be honest. It was a mediocre show. Any show I'm not on is awful. UFC 298. What a card. Wow. One for the ages. I mean, it was a great card. Good on paper, and it ended up being a decent card for the books. How about it? Now, okay. I know what you're all thinking. Trey's going to be sick. Here he comes, making all the excuses. The face. Well, let me just say this. He is the face. He was the face. He was the face. And the torch has just been passed. The torch has just been given on. Now, let me tell you, if he wasn't the face, then why did Ilya get so many followers after the fight? How many did he jump on Miller? You already made one mention about it earlier in the earlier podcast, and now we're sitting here, and I'm sure he's went up even more since you talked about it earlier in that podcast. Is that because he beat the face? Is that because the torch was passed? Is that because everybody finally took notice? Now, I said this in a fight before, and it had me swallow my pride, and I'll say it again, okay? I'll say it again. Ilya's fight showed me more about Ilya than it did about his competitor. Now with Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is a dog. Bryce Mitchell is a future champion. He's one of now only 3 people in the UFC to ever pull off the twister. But when Ilya fought him, that's the first time I took notice. That's the first time I said, wait, whoa, hold on. What do we got here? We got a firecracker here. That's the first time that I looked at him and said, hold on a second. This guy might be a future champion, which I believe, if I remember correctly, as I usually do, because I'm the source, I'm the king, I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. I came on the channel and I said that. I said, hold on a second, y'all. This tells me way more about Ilya than it tells me about Bryce. Sure enough, when he comes in to this fight, he's fighting the face of the UFC. The world on his shoulders. The world at his fingertips. Waiting to take control of it all. Possibly get a chance at being the face. Get launched into superstar and be the champion he's always wanted to be. The first to ever do it of his kind. And it showed me a lot. The torch was passed Saturday. Volkanovski is no longer the face of the UFC. Now I know what you're thinking, Trey. What the heck? You were just saying it all these past time. You were preaching it the past. Yeah, I was preaching it. But when you get it taken away by a star of this fashion, when you get it taken away by a star of this skill, this caliber, I want everybody to listen to me when I say this. We are witnessing greatness right here. We are witnessing history. Now, before Topuria showed up, Volkanovski was the best featherweight of all time. There's no argument to that. We can all agree to that. Volkanovski was hands down the best featherweight of all time. I said not only did he carry that division, he carried the entire UFC. But now it's Ilya's turn. Now there's a new king on top of the division. But now you have to ask yourself, and I heard this said earlier, the division's not that exciting. It's kind of boring. And I'm hearing people say, well, Ilya has to go fight Islam. Ilya needs to go to another division. He needs to go fight Sean O'Malley. Ilya needs to stay in his kingdom and rule his roost. And how about he defend a couple times before he bounces around like it's Frogger and goes and jumps around to a couple divisions and fights for other belts? What are we doing now? What are we doing now? We're in a great place in the UFC. Just 3 months ago, we were all sitting on our hands saying, what is the UFC going to do? It's stuck. It's in a place of misery. We have nowhere to go. We have champions that won't get off their pedestal. Nobody can beat them. Who's ever going to change anything? They're running laps around the division. But now we're in a different place. We're in a different time in the UFC. Leon is the longest reigning champion in the UFC right now. Leon Edwards, remember the head kick on Usman, the lucky head kick in Utah that nobody saw coming? The one that shocked the world? He's the longest reigning champion in the UFC. Can you believe that? We're in a different time. It's a different era. Now, I'm telling y'all right now, we are witnessing history. I'm sorry, Miller. I know I'm going over my time. But we are witnessing history. This tells me way more about Ilya than it does Volk. We are witnessing history. When we see Ilya step in the ring, he's got the hands. Listen, I've seen him on the mic. All right, he's not that great. He's not that great right now. But I think there's potential. I do think there's potential. Now that he's got a little confidence under his belt, he actually has a belt. I think there's potential. This guy could end up being the face of the UFC, but listen, he has to do what Volk did. He has to do what Volk did. He has to carry that division. Volk single-handedly carried that entire division so much that he became the UFC face. And we look at him and we say, and what are we putting the jacket on? And we look at what are we putting the jacket on here for right now? Also, I'm just noticing the flag in the background. I mean, this guy's an absolute sellout. Did he have a UK flag? This dude's a UK, Georgian, Puerto Rican from Philadelphia. It makes me sick to my stomach.
It's a little tight with the
hoodie,
but
I'm done. Go ahead. You're ruining it.
It's a little tight with the hoodie. The hat is kind of. Let's take the hat off.
Look. Can you hear me right now? Can you hear me right now? Can I be honest with you? I'm just saying this just to try to give you a little bit of advice. You look like you work at a movie theater right now. I'm not lying. You look like you're about to take my ticket out of movie theater. Yeah, large popcorn, please.
Yeah, I think we're gonna watch the movie. It's a rerun. Miller was right again. Ilya is the face of the UFC. Miller was right again.
Whoa. I didn't say he was the face yet.
What is this, chapter 3? Because the first one was Leon would beat Usman. Then we saw part 2. Wait. O'Malley would beat Sterling. Oh, we're at part number 3.
I said that too. I mean, what are you talking about? O'Malley's been my guy forever. You're a U-turn. You're a pancake. You're a flip-flop on O'Malley. What are you talking about here, pal?
When's the last time you were right about a main event?
Miller.
When's the last time you were right about
this is the problem?
You win the preseason, the regular season games. When it comes to the finals, the Super Bowl.
How do you get there? How do you get to the championship? You win the preseason. You win the regular season. You get there, pal. And guess what? I didn't get one other fight wrong. You
got the most important fight wrong.
Congratulations on your one fight you got right.
I went 2-3. You went 4-1. But you got the main one wrong. The one that you've been talking about for how long? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? Volk is the face. Volk is this. Volk is that.
He was the face. He was the face, and now he's not anymore. But now there's not a face. You want to know what makes me sick? Is that you pitched that Alex Pereira was the face. You pitched that he was the face. Just a week ago, you were saying that. Oh, what about him? I mean, they're pushing him. They're doing all this stuff. And then they announced.
He's headlining.
And then they announced that he's headlining UFC 300. And I watch you sit on here and whine and complain about your face of the UFC. You're complaining about it? What are we talking about here?
Because he's fighting Jamal Hill. Everybody, but do you remember when Dana said, "Oh, this UFC 300 main event fight is gonna blow your minds"? That was his words. You think matching him up with Jamal Hill? No. Now you give him Tom Aspinall going up in weight at heavyweight, or you give him John Jones. But come on, the Jamal Hill fight for the main event of UFC 300. Come on now,
Miller. When you have a firework, do you wait till you go to a beautiful scenery by the beach with just the perfect sunset? just dark enough to let that firework glow perfectly in the sky? Or do you go to your backyard and light the firework off and let it explode? That's what you do. You got a firework, you throw it in there, and you let it explode. That's what Pierre is. He's a firework. You throw him in at the top of UFC 300, and you let it explode. That's what he is. He's a bomb. He's a detonator.
That's all they had. And I can't wait to, before we get to Pereira and Jamal Hill, I know you want to quickly glance over the Volkanovski thing, but we have a caller in general, and I'm sure he has plenty to say to you. If you want to join.
Yep. First of all, I want to give props to Trey. I thought he was going to double down. And you know what? You had a good take there. You took the L with some humility there. You were a little bit humble. So I appreciate
I
that.
don't take L's. I take lessons, pal. Respect it and learn it.
Let's start with an L too. I also agree with Trey with like him having to be
Cool.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just checking my mic. It disconnected.
Okay. All right, so he doesn't have to go up and fight Islam right now. He actually has at least 2 solid fights in that division where he can defend the belt. Merab is one, where I think it's still a headline, a good, worthy opponent to go against. I think you can draw some headlines. You got some press conference, battles you can have there. And then you have Aljo. Aljo's still in that division. And he can beat Cater, and I think that's a good opponent to go against. And he can, retire Aljo. That'd be great.
I think that's one of the best options that I've heard as far as featherweight division. What fight is next? I mean, isn't it crazy the UFC needs Aljo now?
Well, no, you still have Merab. Like, why?
Whoa. UFC will never need another boring fighter in the UFC. I can promise you that much.
Well, that division is kind of stagnant, and I think your only 2 options really is Merab and Aljo. But what's with the distaste with you and Merab and him going for the fight, Topuria?
Did you guys just see that it was released that Dana White said there was 3 fights that we're going to give Leon? Can you guys believe none of those names were Bilal? Just because he said Merab is next, it doesn't mean it's going to be Merab next. Nobody wants that fight.
Nobody wants to see the pita bread from Sausage Party go in the ring, do something stupid on the mic again. Nobody cares about this guy. He's boring. He's a bum. Nobody wants to see him.
And nobody wants to see Merab.
I'm wrong. I'm actually 100% wrong. Merab's not in that division, so I don't even know why I brought him up. So it's really just Aljo, actually. It's just Aljo. That division's stagnant. All they have is Aljo.
Again.
First of all,
they've come to a place where they need him.
First of all, Volk
okay, let's talk about that.
First of all, Volk needs a rematch. Yes. You don't reign in a division for that long. Carry that whole entire division with boring fight after boring fight. Make them exciting. Become the best point fighter in the UFC. Become the face of the UFC, and then not get a rematch. Absolutely not.
Great, you can't do that. Not. You just said that he's passing off the torch.
I don't care. He deserves. Listen, he passed the torch. Yes, I'm not saying he's going to go in there and win. I'm not saying he's going to go in there and take the belt back, but he deserves a rematch. He carried the division for how many years?
So
how many
Aljo
years did he
deserves a rematch against Sean O'Malley? What are you talking about?
Wait, hold on a second.
That reign was way shorter. And he was way less active. Way less active than Volk was.
Aljo was less active?
Yes.
I mean, nobody was as active as Volk, but he was active. He has title defenses.
Aljo wasn't the face of the UFC either.
They both got knocked out in the second round. Why does Volk get one but not Aljo?
Because Volk carried an entire division for how many years? He was the face of the UFC for about 2 years. What are we talking about? Aljo was none of those things.
He got knocked out cold twice. Aljo at least only got knocked out once.
We can't play the games if this person deserves it and then the other people don't. Because then
what's the standard?
Then you're giving Bilal the reason.
There is no standard. It's whatever I said it. You're giving Bilal a reason to what?
To fight for the belt. Like if you don't want Bilal to fight for the belt, you can't you're setting the standard because it's Volk and he's done all this stuff. Well, Bilal has won all his fights. Why shouldn't he be the headlining?
He didn't carry the entire division for how many years? 4 years? 5 years? Tell me, how many years did he carry the division? How long did he have the belt?
Do you think the UFC is gonna make that fight next? Like, let's be honest. We both know that fight's not gonna happen next. They're gonna move on. There's no shot that Volkanovski gets a shot.
I want a rematch at UFC 300, Volk and Ilya.
And you know how many people want that fight?
Put it on the card.
One, and that's you. Nobody else wants that fight.
Hilarious.
What fans have said give Volkanovski the rematch?
I'm at least 2. I know Volk wants to fight.
Yeah, nobody else wants that fight. Volkanovski's done. I'm sorry. He had a great run. He's a number.
It's not. Put in the chat right now. Ask in the chat right now. Does Volk deserve a rematch?
Wait. Should I ask? Does Volk deserve the rematch, or will Volk get the rematch? Which one?
Ask if he deserves it. Does he deserve a rematch?
Does Volk? That's fine. Deserve the rematch.
He deserves the rematch. That's absolutely crazy. That he can do
hold
all
on,
that, carry the division, be the face of the UFC for how many years, and he doesn't get a rematch?
Hear me out. I agree with you that he deserves it, but he's not gonna get it. So why don't we switch it? No, he's not. That's what I'm gonna switch. Will Volk get the rematch?
The reason why I'm quick to say that he won't get the rematch because Dana was very quick to say Merab is going to get the title fight. He doesn't talk about fights ahead of time, but he was quick to say Merab is going to get the title fight. But when they asked about Volk, Dana's like, I don't know yet. It just happened.
And he does that all the time.
Just won. That just happened, but he's automatically going to get the shot. That's kind of sketchy. So I don't think he's going to get it. Does he deserve it? I agree with you. Yeah, he probably does deserve it. But in the layout and how the UFC operates, it's not going to happen. They're going to give him Yair in Spain. And then Aljo next. That's what's gonna. Aljo. I don't know. That's my best next opponent.
If he were the
face,
really?
If he were the face, Volkanovski will get the rematch. But because he wasn't even close.
Listen,
Air's a bigger fight than Volkanovski right now.
You know what's sad? That would have to be a fight night headline because that wouldn't even that would not be a pay-per-view headline.
They'll do it in Spain, Trey.
Yair and Ilya, that's going to be – hey, okay, let me go ahead and just say this then. I can promise you this much. That's going to be one of those ones that come on at 12 p.m. in the daytime. I can promise you that much.
I wouldn't mind it. Then I could get to bed early. Listen, let's be honest. Yair versus Ilya is a bigger fight than Ilya versus Volkanovski. Nobody wants to fight. He got knocked out cold. This is the second time we see him slumped.
Didn't Volk beat Yair?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
But Yair didn't get knocked out cold 2 times in a row. We know Volkanovski's at the tail end of his career. Nobody believes Volkanovski is pound for pound top 2, top 3 anymore. Those days are gone. Those days are gone.
You are disrespectful and don't respect the sport in any way or no MMA or UFC if you do not think that Volk deserves a rematch.
I said he deserves it, but he's not going to get it.
He will get it. Yes, he will.
Listen. He's not
a
big enough name.
It might not be an immediate. He's not a big enough name. Miller. He was the face of the UFC for the past 2 years. What are you talking about? He carried that entire division for the past 4-5 years. How many years? Somebody answer. Nobody can answer.
His greatness made it boring. Sometimes you could be too great for your own good. You think the UFC is going to risk making him a title shot again, then he gets the belt and we're back to square one? They're not going to do that. It makes absolutely no sense. He deserves it, but they're not going to do it. It makes no sense. Aljo deserved one too.
You're saying that they're not going to give Volk a rematch because they're scared that he might take the belt away from Ilya?
It's not a good business move. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do.
In what way is that not a good business move? You could do that one in Spain.
The same way Aljamain Sterling is not a good business move for Ilya to fight O'Malley again. O'Malley knocked him out clean. It was a beautiful ending. They want to move on.
Boring fighter. Aljo's a boring fighter, though. He's a loser. He's a bum. He got the belt by accident.
Volkanovski is not the most entertaining fighter. I mean,
he's the best point fighter in the UFC. He was the best point striker in the UFC. What are we talking about?
That's like saying someone's the best shooter if they're not, like, I don't know, entertaining. It doesn't matter.
Is there a 3-point contest? Okay, bet. Is there a skills challenge? Is there a skills challenge? Okay, bet. So what are we talking about?
You're saying the best point fighter. That's like saying he's the best rebounder. Nobody's gonna pay for that.
They keep that stat, don't they?
They do, and that's all it is a stat.
Isn't there an award? Isn't there an award for a best rebounder?
An award that nobody attends and watches.
Volk does deserve it, but Dana's going to protect Ilya because he has too much. Look at this guy. This guy we talked the other night. He was at 2.3 million followers. The guy's over 3 mil right now, right?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think
I can
Volk
already
is gonna,
see what this.
after that fight,
Mhm.
after Volk's past 3 fights, do you think that Volk is going to go in there and beat Ilya? Do you think anybody in the UFC whatever scheduling or bookmaking, fight making is looking at that and saying, "Listen, we can't put Volk back in here. He could possibly beat Ilya." Nobody's saying that. So don't give me that. Give me a real reason.
Nobody wants to see it.
I just think you want to protect your star, and you want to create new matchups and hopefully wake up that division. Because if Volk somehow wins, and Ilya takes the L, what are you gonna do? A trilogy? Now we're fucking bored to death.
What are we gonna do if Yair wins and
Watch.
Volk's
Watch.
beat Yair? Wait. Does Ilya get an immediate rematch on Yair, or does Volk get to fight him?
He's not. Come on, we know Ilya's not.
Come
gonna
on,
lose.
tell me if that happens.
They want to see a couple wins holding the title. We might see him go up and fight. I don't know, Islam. We might see. Bro, right now.
Why would we do that? Why would he do that immediately? That's so stupid. Defend your belt a little bit.
Let me ask you this: what if O'Malley beats Cheeto Vera? Probably not going to happen, but let's say it does.
He's definitely going to beat him.
Okay, so let's say he definitely beats him. Wouldn't you rather see that? Wouldn't you rather see him versus Ilya than Volkanovski again? Be honest.
It's a super fight.
Wait, what fight am I choosing between?
If O'Malley wins, wouldn't you rather see O'Malley versus Topuria than Volkanovski versus Topuria?
Miller, I want to see Ilya defend his. This is what I'm trying to tell you.
Now you're being fake. You're one of O'Malley's biggest fans, and now you don't want to see it next.
If y'all want to disrespect Volk like this, saying he's not the face and all this about him carrying the division and all this stuff. Listen, Ilya is going to have to do the same thing that Volk did in his division and beat everybody up and down before he gets to go. What are we talking? The UFC is in such a good place right now. All the divisions are starting to line up are pretty decent. There's some that are kind of stagnant, but if 1 or 2 things happen, it makes the division exciting again. So why are we jumping and doing all this stuff and everybody's trying to be double champ these days? That used to mean something back in the day. That used to be a reward. You used to get to a certain level in your career. For example, Connor, for example, Volk. You get to a certain level in your career where you earn to go to the next level and challenge them.
Connor beat Aldo.
Connor has before he went to go for double champ.
Connor won once and then went up. Connor beat Aldo at featherweight and then went for double champ right after. So that makes no sense.
And what? And won.
That's what we're saying.
But listen, this is what I'm saying. Listen, this is what I'm saying. After he had earned his way a little bit through the roots, we're talking about somebody who's had 5 fights in the UFC and just got the belt.
You went from saying let the guy get a couple title defense shots, and you bring up Connor as an example, and it's a terrible example.
Ilya has proven himself too.
I said Volk.
Ilya beat the one guy that had a twister. The one of 2 guys. Isn't he proven?
Don't say that like that's not something impressive.
It's not. It's horrible. Bryce Mitchell's a bum, but that's a whole.
He would whoop you, and I would whoop you. So what are we talking about?
I'm not a UFC fighter, and you're past the heavyweight division. What I'm saying. Listen, Bryce Mitchell's a bum. Can we not go talk about that? Can we just say I was right? Bryce Mitchell's a
Bryce Mitchell's not a bum. You better watch your mouth before I get the whole countryside on you. Hold on, your mic's breaking. Your mic's chopping up bad. He don't talk. He don't. I'll lead it, Miller. Don't worry. Take care of your mic. Hito, say your closing words, whatever you got to say before you want to leave, and we're gonna get Joe in here.
Topuria, great outing, and his next 2 fights is probably going to be Aljo and Yair. I don't see them giving a rematch just yet. The Volk. That's all I got.
All right, appreciate it. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. People don't understand that I am making sense, and it sounds a little crazy right now, but it's absolutely disrespectful if you don't think Volk deserves a title shot. Here we go. Miller's still fixing his mic. Joe, you're live in on the call. I heard your call earlier. It was awful. Let's hope you have a second, better one on this one. And take it away. What you got?
So let me get this straight. First of all, what's up, Miller? What's up, Trey?
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead whenever you're ready, pal.
You are ugly. Seriously.
You're ugly, pal. I can't even see your face. You got a red screen.
You want me to turn my mic on?
Ugly.
My video on?
No. Please don't. We don't want to see.
All right, listen to me.
We don't want to see your shower that you've already been sitting in for 3 minutes.
Yeah. No.
Oh, it's Chris Faith. My bad, y'all.
All right, so what Trey is saying is that Volk deserves a rematch after he got murdered. He's not even alive. He's dead.
Wasn't even that bad.
You didn't see the fight. He's dead.
We're back. Sorry, guys.
So I don't think Volk deserves a rematch. Now, okay, I shouldn't say he doesn't deserve a rematch. He doesn't deserve an immediate rematch at all. Maybe if he gets a few wins and a win or two, and then like you said, the division's kind of stagnant, so might as well run it back after 2 fights, just like they did with Max Holloway. Max Holloway was the champ for a while. Volk beat him. Max Holloway didn't get an immediate rematch, so I think the same thing's going to happen. Also, I saw DC. He had made a great point today. He said that knockout button has been touched 2 times in a row now.
Ooh,
for Volk. So Volk, even though I know he said he wanted the rematch, but once he talks with his team and he talks with everybody, his family, Dana White's probably going to tell him, hey, listen, you need to take a break for a little while and get your mind right and then come back, because God forbid he comes back and gets knocked out again 3 times in a row.
He should fight Bryce Mitchell as a tune-up. That's a great fight right there.
Miller, that's a great idea.
Easy tune-up? 2 guys that have just been knocked out, match them up.
Don't end Volk's career early. Don't end Volk's career early, please.
That's
please.
That's a disgusting take.
Not early. Let him get another run in. Let him get another run in. Do not end Volkanovski's career early.
Bryce Mitchell just got knocked out by Josh Emmett, right?
Okay.
By Josh Emmett.
I did watch the fight, yes, because I'm not a casual like you. Actually,
the guy that's been dominated by almost everybody in the division.
Bryce Mitchell's dead too. They're both dead. I don't know what Trey's talking about.
He's still sizzling like bacon, just like Beta says all the time.
How many flags do you got at your country flag? You're gonna look like a government building here soon with how many flags you got at your house.
I got a British flag for Leon and I got a Spain flag for Ilya. So all winners. Damn. And who would have thought? Guys that I picked when they weren't champions. It's almost like I know the sport. It's crazy.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Volk's going to go in there and get an immediate rematch. I'm not saying that's going to happen. All I'm saying is that he deserves a rematch, and he will. His next fight might be for a rematch. Now, listen.
No one says he doesn't deserve it. He's not going to get it.
Listen to what? Yes, he is.
He's not going to get it.
If he deserves it, why does he not get it?
Because Bilal deserves it and he doesn't get it.
Miller.
The same thing. Because Merab has deserved this since like 2019.
We're talking about Bilal. We're talking about Snore Show.
Almost, it's the same thing.
Bilal is a silent film to the modern day cinema. That's what Bilal is. Okay, we're talking about a superstar. We're talking about a legend. We're talking about the face of the UFC. Somebody who carried a division for how many years? Can anyone tell me how long he carried the division for?
And he's been knocked out twice, back to
back.
Now,
this is what I'm telling you. This is all I'm saying. I'm not telling you that it's going to be an immediate rematch for the belt. But I am telling you there is a possibility that Volkanovski's next fight that he has will be against Ilya for the belt. Now, will Ilya go and fight Yair and do some other stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, if he takes a year off, he'll get a rematch maybe. If he takes a whole calendar year off, he might. Yeah, you're right, possibly.
Maybe.
But
what's a year and a calendar year? What's the difference, Joe? They're both a year. So what are we talking about here?
I'm just making sure you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes your brain doesn't work right.
Your brain never works right.
Well, listen, I heard the last caller say something about Aljo.
Yes.
Who wants to see
Who?
Aljo get in the ring? No one wants to see
Right here.
that.
Right here. Featherweight
Miller,
division? Featherweight
Miller,
division?
for what?
To see how he does? He's been cutting weight for too long?
So you want to throw him with a great white shark for his first fight?
Who's a better option than Aljo in the featherweight division right now?
Give him
Joe, tell me.
Yair or something. Like, don't give him the champion. What do you mean?
I'm not saying that's a bad one, but besides Yair, you don't have nobody else.
He got knocked out by Sean O'Malley at 135. What do you think is going to happen to him at 145?
He stuck to striking. He shouldn't have. Ilya is a little bit scary. I'm just saying there's nobody else.
Here's what I'm saying. Just like Connor went up, okay? I'm not kidding. Forget about him going up, even though I think he should go up. I think he deserved it, just like Connor did. Just like what Trey was saying, what have these guys done? I'll tell you what he did. He knocked out the face of the UFC and absolutely murdered him in a vicious, ferocious fashion.
Mm-hmm. He called
that's the best knockout in championship fight since Leon Edwards versus Kamaru. So
interesting.
No,
called them both.
No wonder his followers went up. He had a crazy finish. He had a legendary finish on a legendary fighter. That was a legendary performance. Okay, wait, hold on. Before you say something, so he needs to fight. They need to make a fight with Yair Rodriguez and have them duke it out, and just give the people a stand-up fight. A lot of action, a lot of crazy kicks, punches, flurries, combos. Someone's gonna get knocked out. That's the best fight to make. If I'm Dana White and Trey saying that he wants him to defend his belt, then yeah, he has to fight Yair Rodriguez. I think in the featherweight division, I think Yair is probably the best. Him and Max Holloway are the best fighters. I would probably have him fight Max Holloway, have him fight Yair, and then let's see how he does it according to Trey's strategy. Now I say he goes up to fight Islam. That's what I think he should do. That's what I think he should do. As far as pay-per-view numbers,
it makes no sense. We're not boxing. We're not boxing. We're not doing the one-off fights. We're trying to build careers. We're trying to build legacies.
Okay.
We're not hopscotching, playing Frogger with the division, just jumping up and down everywhere we want to go fight for belts. There's got to be some type of standard. You have to earn it at some type of level. If everybody's getting title shots, if number 8 fighters can get title shots, if number 4 fighters, not every time the number 1 contender is getting the title shot, if that's how it's going to be and there's no standard there, can we at least have a standard where you can't just jump around the division? You got to actually do something, accomplish something a little bit, not just win a belt and have no title defenses and go challenge for another belt. What's he gonna do when he does this? He's gonna go down and challenge Sean after this? Like, what are we talking about here? He's gonna be a 3 belt holder, never defend any.
Yeah. This is the ultimate fighting championship, baby, where people fight and they put on fights, where people who haven't fought a day of MMA in their life, like Brock Lesnar, can come in and fight for a belt, or have a big fight, or CM Punk, who's never fought a day in his life, can come in on a UFC pay-per-view and fight whoever. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying about building up the divisions, but guess what? This is the UFC, baby.
I don't know why Trey's talking as if like the rankings always mattered and it was about merit and what you did for me throughout your whole career. Leon waited like 11 fights.
This is the ultimate fighting championship. That's what this is. This ain't boxing. This is the ultimate fighting championship.
Championship. That ain't plural, pal. That ain't plural, buddy.
He wants to go up and fight for championships. That's what Taporio wants, and that's what he should do.
Listen, this is what I'm telling you. I'm not opposed to him going up and fighting for another belt, but he's got to defend his belt a little bit before he just bounces around like Frogger.
How many times, Trey?
I need at least 3. Okay, I'll say this.
Weren't you okay with O'Malley going up?
I'll say this. Listen, shut your mouth and let me speak.
Look at that smirk. Look at that smirk. Oh, O'Malley can go up.
Yeah,
you got him, Miller.
Buddy. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done. I get to say what I want. I'm Mr. Intel.
I deserve to wear these right now. Talk to me.
Take those off right now.
That's it. This is my thing now. You should get regular glasses. This is
first of all, where'd you get
I was wearing some nice ones fight night.
Take those off right now.
This wasn't even planned, but they look nice on me right now with the suit, with the hoodie under. Come on now, fashion statements.
Take them off right now. I already lost track. You look ugly. You look like a wannabe superstar. I'm not even talking anymore. Take it away. You guys make me sick.
O'Malley could go up and fight for the 145 title, but not when it's Ilya. Oh no, it can't happen.
O'Malley has a legacy already. O'Malley's already been a star. Oh my gosh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? We got people.
Yeah.
What's happening here? We got.
Yeah. Since Trey wants to wear shades now, we're all wearing shades. Okay.
We lost the show. Joe,
Anyway,
you're ruining the show.
Anyway, what I was saying is that this is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and if Taporia wants to go up and fight for belts, or go down and fight for belts, or wants to cut weight to 125 and fight Moreno.
If he wants to fight Zhang Wei Li, let it happen. Forget
it. Exactly.
Wow, you would be for men hitting women. You make me sick to my stomach, Miller. That's just the type of Philadelphia person.
No, Trey, no. You dodged. I don't know if you dodged or if you just forgot what Miller said. He said, how many times did he defend the belt?
Talk to us.
In your opinion.
Listen, if he goes, I need 3. But
three?
Listen,
what is your problem?
Volk has to be one of those. Volk's rematch has to be one of those. I need 3 dominant defenses. Then you can go up and fight Islam.
Joe, we have another caller, so we'll add you right back if you want to jump back in.
Yeah, right? That's fine. That's cool.
All right, cool.
Take the glasses off and take the flag down.
We have King Los 1130 in the building. What's up?
You.
Welcome to the stream, sir. You called before, I think last week or the week before. You're here now. We talked about Volkanovski before not being the face. Now that UFC 298 is over, talk to us.
Oh man! First of all, what's up, my man Trey? Last time we talked, we were talking about UFC being a big business, and like I like talking to fans like you because you're a fan of a fighter, so it kind of also contradicts some of the things you say about the whole business aspect and all that other
be
stuff.
Be careful with the F word.
Hasn't the truth come out? Call it for what it is, Carlos. I'm sorry.
Listen, be careful with the F word, pal. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one that gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. I'm no fan.
Call it for what it is.
Like, you love Volkanovski, which is good. All right. But the rematch, I don't think, because say if he does win, I don't think he will, but say if he does win, it kind of kills that division even more because now you're just recycling fights.
Absolutely.
And like, there's no other choice but to go up. Who Volkanovski fight next? He beat Ilya. Who does he fight? Who does he fight next?
Whoa.
Can you answer that? That's a good question. Who does he fight next?
If Volk wins the belt? Volk wins the belt?
Yes.
Oh, I love this. Hey,
what do you do? Holloway 4?
It's a recycle.
Please. No, I love that you asked this question. This is so amazing, Los. And it's just ironic the fact that you mentioned business. UFC. What does the UFC love promoting more than anything? Oh, trilogies. Trilogies is what they love promoting. And what would be up for the third fight? It would be Volk and Ilya, and it would be the best trilogy of all time that we've ever seen. Yes or no? Yes or no? Answer me that. If Volk was the win, if Volk wins fight 2 and they go and fight again, that would be the best trilogy of all time, hands down.
Right.
Better than Marino.
In a combat sport, if it was a close fight, all right. But he got his lights out. So it's like, no, there's no point. He put him down. It's like no point.
Okay.
Like if it was a good fight,
and hold on.
Like, okay. But like,
we're talking about if Volk was to come back and win. Hold
on, Los and Trey. Why didn't you have that same energy for Aljamain Sterling when he lost to Sean O'Malley? You didn't say a rematch.
Boring fighter. He's a fake champion. He's a herb. Nobody cares about this cornball. All right, that's why.
This is another point why I say like you're great to talk to because you are a fan of the sport. But be a fan of the skill.
Watch your mouth, buddy. Watch your mouth, buddy.
Aljamain Sterling, I truly believe like they're not going to do it again because Sean O'Malley is going to sell that a little bit better. But if they fought again, I think Aljamain Sterling beats Sean O'Malley.
9 times out of 10, Carlos. 9 times out of 10.
Because he's a better fighter.
9 times out of 10.
Just like you talk about Miller when Edwards kicked Usman with that lucky shot. I mean, O'Malley landed a great punch. I mean, He landed one
And,
great
and he would
punch.
do it again. And he would do it again.
I mean, who said? Maybe
Well,
not. Maybe,
he's
maybe not.
stuttering over there. He would do it again. You know
No,
he would
but
do it
I
again.
don't think so. I truly believe that he beats him 9 out of 10. I agree with Miller on that one. 9 out of 10 times.
Why not find out, right, Trey? He wants to to find out with Volkanovski, Ilya. But when it comes to Sterling, wow, man. I mean, you're just a fanboy.
But that goes with what we said, man. They're good business. They're gonna protect O'Malley. And now
course.
Ilya, you know what I mean? They're not gonna put Ilya back in there because, like I said, I think he still wins. But say if Volk does win, now they could barely pick a fight for 300. Now it's like recycling fights. Okay, he needs to save the day. I really don't want to see him beat Islam again because, truthfully, all jokes aside, he can't beat Islam. He can't beat Islam. Period. They can fight every day of the week. He beats Volkanovski every day of the week.
It's all starting to click right now. Everything is finally starting to make sense.
What's your epiphany now?
Everything is finally starting to make sense to me. Volk is Ilya's scariest fight. And that's why y'all don't want them to fight again.
It's not.
Because y'all keep talking about everybody keeps mentioning what if Volk gets the belt back? Then what? Then we're gonna be stuck. He must be his scariest fight then, if y'all don't want him to fight so bad.
Well, if that's the narrative you think it is, but my narrative in my head is when we talked last time, you said, is the UFC a good business? And you asked me twice. Said, Carlos, yes or no? I said, yes. They're a good business. So they're not going to do that because
I got the notepad out right now.
I mean, it's bad business. Like, why? Did they give Aldo a rematch against McGregor when he got his lights put out? No.
Why are we saying it's bad business? Why are we saying it's bad business? Because he got knocked out?
Because it's bad. No, what I said earlier. I don't think Volk beats him again. But just to say if he does, it's bad business because now you recycle fights. And it becomes like, I'm not trying to watch
This is beautiful to watch, man.
Fight somebody for the third or fourth time, or fight this guy for the third or fourth time.
This is where you're wrong, though. This is where you're wrong, though, because here we go talking about business again. If the fight makes money, it gets recycled. We know that in the UFC. If the fight, how do you think Jorge Masvidal apparently got all these title He hasn't done anything. He knocked out Ben Askren, that was it, and he was getting title shots. So if the fight makes money, it will get recycled. And I'm going to bet or say there's a high guarantee that Volk and Ilya made some money this past weekend.
So to build your sport, you rather see guys fight 4 or 5 times than to watch a guy coming up with 15, 16 wins. And I know guys that are probably unranked right now that probably couldn't be in the top 10. But no, you want to keep watching recycle fights. Like, why? That's not building your product. That's keeping it stagnant. That's why you got guys like your division you're talking about right now with Volkanovski and Ilya. It's dead because you're not bringing nothing up. You're just recycling fights. And that's what makes it bad.
That division.
It just recycles fights. So that's what I mean. It's bad for business because now you got a guy in there. He knocked out your king. So now it's like
he was the face of the UFC. Hey, Rose came in here being very disrespectful today. You better watch your mouth, Paul. Who you're talking to?
But it's like that's the business aspect of it. They'll say you need to bring more to the table because you get divisions like that are dead. It's only 2 guys. I've been listening to the podcast this whole time, and Miller named Yair. Then what?
Of course you have, because you're a fan of the UFC and me. So just remember that, Los, when you're talking to the source, the king, the one who gets it done, Mr. Intel.
I'm going to just sit your name to the businessman.
If fights make money, if fights make money, they get recycled. This is what I'm telling y'all. The UFC loves trilogies. They love trilogies more than anything. Look at the Marino and Figgy. Now I'm telling y'all, this would be the biggest trilogy of all time if it was to happen.
That's because that division has been dead for quite some time.
Exactly. But last question: if they do give him his rematch and he loses again, then what?
Yeah. We got one more call after that, so stay in here for the answer. And then you could feel free to join back if you want. Trey, you have the floor. Answer that question. Then what?
What's the question? I wasn't even listening to him. He's kind of like background noise at this point.
If they do give him a rematch and he loses Volkanovski, then what?
That's okay, but this is what I'm telling y'all.
You're talking about a trilogy. They didn't even rematch.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he was to win, they love trilogies more than anything. That's the business side. This is what I'm telling you on a more level. He deserves the rematch. He carried that entire division for 4 or 5 years, had the belt, was the face of the UFC pretty much all through COVID. Like, he deserves the rematch. I'm not saying he's going to go in there and win. Anybody who watches the past fight would know, hey, he's probably not going to go and win, which is what I don't understand when y'all are telling me why he doesn't get the rematch right now. It's an easy way to make more money, one, build up Ilya even more for main eventing a pay-per-view and having all those eyes on him because Volk is such a big star, whether you like it or not. He is a huge star. Okay, then you have all those eyes on him. Then he goes to fight Ciair. Or what if he does something crazy to Volk, knocks him out disrespectfully, then he goes and fights Islam, and then he gets that key to go to the next level like y'all want him to do so bad, like he can just do after getting the belt. He can jump around like Frogger and do whatever he wants to, apparently. But that's the options. I'm not, y'all got me pinned into one corner saying I'm saying one thing, but I'm just laying everything out for you, and y'all want to try and twist it and turn it and make it all these different things.
I'm just saying what I thought it was.
Business, Los, I'm gonna tell you right now. Not only one does he deserve the rematch, but if they made bread on this card this past weekend, you can bet your bottom dollar that there will be a rematch between these two.
Hey, if that's what you believe, but I think
hating? Where am I wrong at? What am I saying wrong?
I think if he didn't get knocked out, I would agree with you somewhat. But he got put out. So it's if you believe that recycled fights are gonna is the end goal, you're not gonna make it, bro. You need to build a lot of your guys.
Recycled will be okay if it was close. It wasn't close. He's been knocked out twice, back to back already. His stock is dropped.
We're talking about one rematch. Y'all talking about recycled fights like it's their 5th, 6th time they've ever fought.
What I'm saying.
How many times have we seen rematches? We see them all the time, bro.
He needs a tune-up
all the time.
He needs a tune-up. He needs a Bryce Mitchell.
Yeah, I agree, Mo.
All right, we got another
right,
come back in here.
Wait, businessman. So you think that makes money? You think Volk and Bryce Mitchell makes more money than Ilya and Volk again? That's what you're telling me?
No.
All right, so what are we doing?
But if Volk is a product and you want to sell that product again, that product is coming off of 2 L's of getting knocked out. You want to build that product back up.
Listen.
What also Combat Sports love is a comeback story. So if he could come back and do something, okay. But if he rematches him right off the jump and he goes down, like it's done.
That's a great point.
But listen, we're talking about 2 different divisions. We're talking about somebody way bigger than him going up to the next division. You don't get to link those two and be like, well, his last 2 fights, he got knocked out. No, he got knocked out in a higher division where the dude is double his size, probably, double the power, probably, and then he came back down to his division and got knocked out once. And he's been knocked out twice.
But I love this show. It's the best show. And I recall last time in the first fight, there was a little debate that first fight they fought was a close one. So you can't blame the size. Because the first fight Volk fought Islam, supposedly, it was a good fight.
Absolutely.
So you really can't blame the size.
It was a great fight.
So that point's irrelevant. If he's able to go up there and do that with the dude where some people are saying, oh, he may have won that fight, then that's a relevant point.
But I'm talking about him getting knocked out. You're holding that against him in this division too. I'm saying that I'm not being like, well, he almost beat Islam. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bringing that down to this division. That's a whole different division. That's a whole different ball game up there. Different speeds, everything, power, all that.
I'm not gonna keep your show up, but like just really thinking about it, just a last thing. If Volk wasn't his age, all right, build him up and just keep throwing him back in there at this age. It's done. It's gonna sell him. I'm not saying excuses. I love combat sports, but I'm telling you, it's done. I'm businessman. You already know.
You need you know what? You need to add a T to the end of your name because you King Lost, my boy, because you just be talking about nothing half the time.
Mr. Receipts Lowe's, appreciate it, man.
No problem, brother.
Appreciate it. Damn, he cooked you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. He cooked you, but we do have another caller. Let's see what Hito609 jumping back in. Mr. Receipts Lowe's with the facts. We now have Hito609 on the line. What do you want to get off your chest, sir?
So like on the topic of like the UFC liking trilogies, I disagree. Conor versus Nate Diaz sold 1 million pay-per-view buys. Conor loses, then they had to do the rematch, another 1 million pay-per-view buys. Why didn't they do a trilogy? If the UFC likes it so much, they look at it long term. Conor's a superstar. Ilya's a superstar. We don't want to put him at risk anymore. So why would they put him at risk to potentially lose? And he doesn't have that Conor draw. Conor can lose and come back and sell mill. Ilya don't have that type of draw. So you got to build up these faces. You don't want him to fight against Volk again. Because if they liked it so much, why didn't they do a trilogy? Two of their highest selling pay-per-views were Conor and Nate Diaz. Why didn't they go for a third one if they love trilogy so much? Because that's money. 1 million pay-per-views is money.
What do you mean? They still talk about the Conor and Nate trilogy, and people still want to see it. So what are we talking about here?
Then why hasn't it happened?
Horrible take.
Why is he fighting Chandler? Why didn't he do tough Ultimate Fighter with Nate Diaz?
Because obviously something's not working out here. Something's not going to par. But here's what I want to tell y'all. Y'all act like Conor doesn't want to fight. Conor doesn't want to do this. It's because money, all this stuff. Answer me honestly. Answer this truthfully. When is the last time that you think Conor has needed to fight for money? Really needed to fight for money? Like, yeah, I need this check. When's the last time?
Long time
the
ago.
Floyd Mayweather fight?
Probably.
So the fights. So how many fights has he fought after that? All those fights after that has been for the love of the sport. He's coming back. Y'all saying he's not coming back is absolutely crazy to me.
Switching topics, man. Wow, way to fucking go off course there. That's crazy. That is wild, man. We're talking about
nobody says he doesn't want to come back.
Return of Conor. Nobody even said anything about that. Stay on course, buddy. Again, so like, if they love trilogy so much, why didn't they try to set up a trilogy with Aldo? They're protecting the superstar.
This was the whole point. He's gonna come back, but this is what I was saying. Conor's gonna come back and fight. That trilogy could still happen. They still talk about it. It's still around on social media. It still gets brought up. Still insert. Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. What do you?
Prime Aldo get his rematch?
Why didn't Prime Aldo get his rematch?
Yep.
Because
if they love trilogy so much, you gotta protect the face. And if you're going to try Bill Taporia to be the face, you can't risk it for a rematch.
Because truthfully, to be real, if we're going to be honest, Conor never defended his belt.
Prime Aldo never got a rematch. Prime Volk isn't going to get a rematch. Prime Sterling didn't get a rematch. If the contender's a bigger star than the actual champion, it's not going to happen.
And then you can't play the games of who deserves what. Because if you play the games to deserve, then Kobe didn't deserve it. Bilal deserved that shot against Leon. You can't play the game of deserves. It's what's business. And right now you can't risk your face.
It's cute to do a little milestone in your career where you get a little 6-fight win streak against a bunch of nobodies or something. But when you carry an entire division, bunch of nobodies for 4+ years and have the belt for 4+ years, be the face of the UFC all through COVID for 2-3 years now, 4 years now almost. He's been the face of the UFC. You deserve a rematch. I'm sorry. And what has Bilal done compared to what Volk has done?
Well, what's Aldo?
He had a 4-fight win streak.
What do you think? Aldo's the most decorated person.
Aldo didn't defend his belt. He never defended a title.
Who?
Conor. You talking about Aljo or Aldo?
Yeah, sorry, Aljo. I'm sorry, Aljo.
Okay. All right.
Aldo has defended his title.
No, Aldo. Yeah, we're talking about Aldo.
No, I said Conor never defended his title.
Yeah, but you're saying that about Volk, but then why didn't Jose Aldo get that same respect?
Aldo, right?
Again,
or
Aldo, Jose Aldo.
Right.
Let me
Aldo and Conor, right? Because Conor never defended his belt. He never defended it.
He went up in weight. Let me repeat this one more time. If the contender is more popular than the actual champion, the champion, if he loses, is not going to get the shot again. It's pretty clear. Kamaru Usman got it because, of course, he's more popular than Leon. Aldo didn't get it. Aljo didn't get it.
Usman got it because he absolutely whooped Leon the entire fight and then had a lucky head kick happen. Not to mention, he's arguably the best welterweight of all time, which we could say Volk is 100% the best featherweight of all time, and he was on a streak on defending his title. So this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. If Usman deserved the rematch, are y'all telling me that Volk didn't? That's crazy to me.
With Usman,
That's crazy to me.
With Usman, it was a close fight until he got knocked out. It was a very close fight until he got knocked
First
out.
time Miller's
People-
ever said that. I
pe-
can't believe it.
People believed that Usman was winning until he got knocked out. People believed that he could win that trilogy fight. Nobody believes that Volkanovski can win right now. He just got knocked out by Islam, just got knocked out by Ilya. He's coming off back-to-back losses. He's been drinking every day for weeks. He's just not this. He's 35 years old. He's old, maybe perhaps over the hill. Tough to hear. I'm just saying we need to move on. Speaking of moving on, we've been on this topic for about.
Here's what I'm saying. Y'all got way too carried away with the trilogy because I'm talking about a rematch. Like trilogy, I get it, but let's at least give him a rematch. He deserves that. If Usman deserves the rematch, Volk deserves the rematch.
No, because there's plenty of examples where people didn't get what they deserve.
Crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's just like
You
no
really
loyalty.
believe
That's
this,
just
Trey?
like that's just like the UFC being like, all right, screw you, brother. You had your run on your
Aldo,
way.
Aljo,
Something
Volk.
coming to the start.
They were nothing to the level of Volk, though.
Aldo is Aldo's the greatest featherweight of all time. What do you mean?
There was not this many eyes on the UFC back then. Still, though, he was not to this level of Volk.
Come on.
If anything, more eyes back then. If anything, it was more eyes. The numbers show it. You don't have numbers right now to go off of.
I don't look at numbers because I know everything. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one that gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. I don't go Google stuff. I'm actually in the thick of it.
The only pay-per-view fight in this new wave of fighters was Jorge Masvidal and Usman. Other than that, there's nobody selling fights, and that's when they were tracking.
They should do Masvidal and Leon, but that's not going to happen. Look, speaking of guys that deserve title shots, let's keep going, but let's get off the Volkanovski Topuria for a second. You know who doesn't deserve a title shot? You're right. Volkanovski deserves it, is not going to get it, and he shouldn't get it. You know who doesn't deserve a title shot next? Merab Dvalishvili.
That's crazy.
About that? Can we talk?
Trey, please. I got to hear Trey's take on this. This is crazy.
Can we talk about Merab doesn't deserve the title shot next? Do you agree or disagree, Trey?
Why doesn't he deserve the title shot next? Who should he fight?
But you were just saying Bilal doesn't deserve it, right?
Bro, I just want to know y'all got me really about to lose my voice over here tonight from yelling so much.
Weren't you just saying that Bilal doesn't deserve it next? Or I don't know. I thought that's what I heard.
No. You think I think Bilal deserves it next? Heck no.
So why does Merab deserve it?
Listen, I would rather Wait, why doesn't Merab deserve it? Merab definitely deserves it. What are you talking about?
So why does Merab deserve it, but Bilal doesn't?
Let's really touch on this. Didn't you think that Merab was going to lose this week?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Close fight. Henry's 37. He's a little older. Hurt his forearm. Things happen. Even then, Merab still found a miraculous way to make it boring. Reminded me of Bilal when Gilbert Burns hurt his arm.
Made it boring.
Bilal still couldn't finish. The coolest thing about that fight, Merab and Henry, you know what was the coolest thing? Oh, I picked him up for a few seconds and smiled.
He also had that choke on him, and he was talking to the crowd. I mean, the guy was being elected the whole time.
Wow, he's having a conversation while sprawling on Cejudo.
Henry Cejudo. I had a double take at one point. I was like, "Is that Miller in the?" No, that's Henry Cejudo right there. It was bad. It was a bully beatdown.
You know who's the only one that was hurt in that fight? Merab. Merab is the one that only got stunned by a left hook. Besides that, nothing else. Merab is one of the most boring fighters in UFC history. He doesn't deserve a title shot next.
I know Hito wants to kick in. Hito, what did he get on his last Instagram reel after his fight?
he's at 564. Last reel was 700K, baby.
The funny thing is that he actually
knows. He would know. I knew he would know.
Hey, Ron. What? But no, look, literally, the guy bullied him. It wasn't a boring fight. You're the only one that said that, Miller. That fight, it was polled. You had the most viewers watching at that. It's not a live with 22 people. You had up to 60 people watching. You had plenty of votes. It was 83% saying it wasn't boring. That's crazy. You're the only one having that take.
Recency bias. Nobody's going to go watch that back.
This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Miller has horrible takes. This is what he does on a regular basis.
My takes have been incredible.
Sometimes the fanboys agree. When? You got one fight right this weekend.
2 for 3. And if I stayed with Merab, it would have been 3 for 2. But nonetheless, what ifs, right? What if Leon didn't land the head kick? We could do this all day.
Wait. If he stayed with Merab, were you ever with Merab?
Oh, I picked Merab first. I switched my pick.
He flip-flopped. No, he definitely flip-flopped. He had Merab and he flip-flopped.
Of course. He's the U-turn. He's the flip-flop. He's the pancake.
It's 3 rounds.
Yeah, I flipped a little bit. I regret it. I should have stuck to my guns. That was my problem.
So wait,
I bet the viewers get motion sickness with as much as you flip flop and turn around.
So Miller, then who's O'Malley's next fight if it's not Merab? that would sell more than Merab.
If he beats Cheeto Vera, which he's not gonna do, but if he does beat, it's a no-brainer. He's been talking about Ilya for years. He wants to go up in weight. You do Ilya versus we do Ilya versus Sean O'Malley. There's no bigger fight for both fighters than to match them up together and have a massive fight.
Miller, you have to literally go outside the division. There's nobody else but Merab. And that fight probably won't happen until the fourth quarter.
Nobody wants Merab and Sean O'Malley. Nobody's gonna pay the pay. Sean
O'Malley
can't
called him
sell.
out.
He can't sell tickets already.
Sean O'Malley
watch your
Merab as
mouth,
well.
pal. Watch your mouth, pal.
His fans are not old enough to buy a pay-per-view. They're 16 and under. You put Ilya and Sean O'Malley, that's a massive fight.
Their parents got ESPN Plus. They're getting it for him.
It's just not gonna happen. Nobody wants to see O'Malley versus Merab. Merab looked good, I guess.
Miller. Okay, here answer this question. The next fight might be Ilya and Yair in Spain. That might be the fight Dana wants to do. Go over in Spain, find a venue, right?
Okay.
So O'Malley's the next up to fight. Who is he fighting? He's gonna wait till the end of the year to fight.
Miller's so sick he doesn't want to say it. Miller, go ahead and yank that flag down. I'm sure you got a Merab flag over there too. Go ahead and put his country's flag up there.
The UFC is gonna do what they did to Bilal. Oh yeah, Bilal's gonna get it. He should get it.
Who is he fighting, Miller? Who is he fighting that's a bigger draw than Merab?
Just let me set up my answer real quick. Remember when Dana said that that Bilal is next? Do you guys remember that? What happened after that? Did you guys just hear the breaking news that Leon was offered three fighters for UFC 300 for UFC 300? And can you guys believe that not one of those fighters was Bilal?
What's the difference?
So just because Dana said Merab is going to get the shot next, he's not going to sell as well as, I don't know, maybe Corey Sandhagen. I don't know. Let's say he beats Cheeto Vera. You run a trilogy fight on that fight as well, too. That's another option.
We like trilogy fights. How interesting. Very interesting. How he flip-flops once again, you little pancake.
Miller, even O'Malley didn't, and you know O'Malley's going to call the shots. He named 3 people. Ilya, Merab, and Sandhagen. And sorry, Sandhagen don't push the needle, and you admit that in early podcasts. But you know who is? The up-and-coming Merab, who's getting a big social media following, who's making a lot of headlines.
This guy loves Instagram.
I don't even have to hear the names, and I can almost guarantee you on my life that every single fighter that was offered to Leon was more excited than Bilal would have been.
It was Islam, Shavkat, and Khamzat, which is weird because Shavkat's not a 300 draw. That was whack for them to even offer that.
And which one of those is not more exciting than Bilal?
You can say the same thing about Ilya Topuria, more exciting than Merab. Corey Sandhagen striking back. You think Merab versus O'Malley is going to be more exciting than Sandhagen and O'Malley?
If he knocks Merab out. Hey, I'm not even saying Merab is winning. I'm saying it's the better fight.
No, absolutely. Merab is going to spam takedowns. It's going to be a boring 5-round fight. People are going to be pissed. You match up Sandhagen and O'Malley.
He didn't do that this past fight.
What big shot did he land?
I mean, he didn't get to land a big shot, but that's just because Henry's
he's not exciting. He's not exciting.
I mean, it was exactly what I said was going to happen. I mean, played out exactly how I thought it would. Now here's the deal.
Right.
Now it wasn't a hug fest, but here's the deal. If he goes in there with Sean, because that should be his next fight. After Sean fights Cheeto, he should fight that. There's the history.
I don't get how you say. I don't get how you say Merab should be next, but Bilal is not next. How does that make sense?
Miller, let me tell you something. Merab only went for 11 takedowns that fight. You said he's going to do 100, right? He threw 172 strikes, landed 74 of them. Where are you seeing this fight where he was spamming takedowns?
What? He had him against the cage a bunch, so even if he went for 11, which is still a lot. Then a lot of clinching against the fence. Out of 172, I think you said 74 landed. What one of those 72 strikes did you say, oh my God, he hit Cejudo with a good shot? We can't think of one.
I think the second round he had a solid shot on Cejudo.
That's when you know a guy's boring. I think he landed something good.
No. He threw a couple 1s and 2 right down the middle that popped Henry. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, guess what, Miller? Out of the 172 in the clinch, only 24 strikes.
So he had 50 left. Maybe 45 of them were jabs.
172 and 24.
Why are we defending Merab? He's boring.
He's boring. Not. Anytime
anytime we talk about Marab being interesting is when Hito's going off of Instagram reels and views. That's about
Miller,
it. When it comes to
Miller,
fighting
here's
in the
the
octagon,
difference.
he's not entertaining.
Here's the
Miller.
difference. Sean O'Malley is a star. Him and Marab would actually be exciting because Sean would counter him, and it would be fun, and it would be flashy, and Sean would be doing his thing.
Marab beats O'Malley. Marab beats him.
Can't. Yeah, shut your mouth. And take those glasses off and that flag down. You can't put Bilal in the octagon with Leon because now you have a boring fighter who nobody cares about, and Bilal Muhammad.
That's disrespectful to that's disrespectful to the best
You
pound
got
for
the
pound fighter
most
in the world
boring
right now.
champion in the UFC, and Bilal Muhammad standing in the same octagon now.
Leon is the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now. The disrespect is crazy.
He's boring though.
Besides Makhachev, it's Leon. Besides Makhachev, it's Leon. It might still be Leon. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Islam wasn't prepared or ready to fight Leon? Oh, Hamzat ducked Leon again? Maybe because he's the best fighter in the world right now. Leon
It's
is
Ramadan. He called it way before.
Yeah, wait. If you're gonna
Leon-
talk about Leon and his corny little flights about not being able to get over the pond, then you're gonna respect the Ramadan.
Leon beat.
I don't even know what's going. I don't know what goes all into that, but respect it and honor. He's not fighting on it for whatever. Is that a religious thing?
Yeah, they can only eat one time a day.
Oh, wow. Yeah, see what I'm saying? He barely has any energy. Now, if he was cutting weight, maybe it would work out if it was a week long. But
No,
you don't cut weight
The whole
for a
training
week.
camp
So.
to be going through Ramadan. It's not like a 1 day thing. So it's like
And he would
you don't
probably
do a
still
whole
beat
training camp
Leon.
in Ramadan and go into a UFC 300. It doesn't work like that.
I don't know why we're talking about this as if even if they had a full training camp, they beat Leon. I don't even know why we're doing that.
Islam? You saying Islam won't beat Leon?
No, absolutely not. Islam doesn't. He ducked the fight.
Hamzat would beat Leon on Ramadan.
Hamzat struggled with
That's how you say
Usman.
that. Or while
15
doing
pounds
it.
up. He struggled with Usman. He struggled with Gilbert Burns. We're talking about Leon, arguably the best welterweight. Well, the best welterweight in our era.
Most boring champion of all time, little baby boy Leon. I know who we're talking about.
Listen, he's the best welterweight in the world right now. Arguably the greatest welterweight of all time. Islam ducked him. Hamzat ducked him. So
Islam did not duck him. Even before this whole UFC 300 stuff, he said that in January. I won't be able to make the fight during Ramadan. I'll fight afterwards. Some people have morals. Some people don't switch flags like you. Some
how
people
convenient.
stand on their business. And if they stand on their religion, they don't pray on fake Bibles or put up different flag every other week.
Hymn books.
The standard for having a flag behind me is if I believe you're going to win and become a champion. And I haven't failed yet.
You should have 18 flags of me sitting up there. Then.
I haven't failed yet.
Right.
I don't remember the last time you picked a good fight. Yeah, we have 2 more callers. Thank you, Hito609, for the call. We have another one. We have Joe, and then we have Chris Faith. Joe, if you hear me out there, let me add Chris Faith because Joe takes his time sometimes. So let's add Chris real quick. And Joe's already been on once. So Chris Faith, if you hear us, you're live. And once you speak, we know you're good, and we'll see what Chris Faith 9000 has to say, aka the People's Champ. For the people in chat, thank you so much for coming through. I see Steve Williams in the building. Plug says Miller's Casual Side is coming out. We have Snipey in the building, a bunch of members, so appreciate you guys. Consider becoming a member; helps the channel out immensely. I think I hear Chris in the background. Yo,
can you hear me?
What's up, Chris? Yeah, 100%. We can hear you. What's up, Chris?
I'm not devastated, even though he did lose. But however, I can agree with one thing: Volkanovski deserves a rematch.
Now we have Trey.
Here comes the fanboy riding the coattails once again. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, you're the fanboy, but I wasn't the fanboy that was crying in the car. That's what the source said.
The source did not say that. I'm the source, pal.
Oh yeah, right. You're the soy source.
Exactly. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm Mr. Intel. Don't you forget that.
You don't forget how to lose weight. Oh wait, I forgot. You already know how to lose weight, but you don't want to lose weight.
Hey, pal, hurry up for your nurse come to take your phone. Hurry up for your nurse come to take your phone.
Stop crying because you already cried. You know.
Cry, Chris. You watch your mouth. You cry. You cry. You cry in the prelim fights. You don't even cry in the main event. You cry at the early prelims.
Chris, let me ask you this: does Marab deserve, or not even deserves, should Marab get the title shot next?
He should, honestly, 100%. But if no one agrees with that, then what the hell are we talking about?
It's just crazy how nobody agrees with Trey on that one as well either.
It's called an opinion, Chris. You usually get to have them if you're smart
Well,
enough.
it's called to
but
lose
apparently
300
you don't
pounds
have
away
one.
because you like going to Burger King too many times. I guarantee you went to Burger King after Volkanovski lost.
You're right, buddy. You're right, buddy. I would buy.
Well, you're known as the king. Well, actually, you're the Burger King. Burger
Yeah.
King.
You're not a king of anything.
Oh yeah, right. Actually, I'm the king of only your sister.
Yeah, you wish, pal.
Oh yeah,
You wish. You
oh,
wish,
you
buddy.
do have a sister. You do have a sister. You just admitted you had a sister.
You wish, buddy.
Oh, you wish. You wish. Actually,
wish, buddy.
I guarantee you would like to have sex with the wife of Joe Biden, but yeah, right.
going back to 298. I guess let's talk about a little bit 299. Sean O'Malley, Cheeto Vera. Just to move on a little bit, who do you guys have for UFC 299?
3 words: Sean O'Malley.
Wow, Trey and Chris agree more than I've expected.
That's only 2 words. The O just has a little apostrophe.
Oh,
like
is actually a word.
No.
No.
You don't understand. You should understand.
Let's actually talk about the breaking news. Jamal Hill, Alex Pereira. I thought it was an underwhelming main event. Can we hear some opinions on UFC 300?
Yeah, you're disrespectful.
The thing is that Melton's fanboy Jones fumbled the bag for UFC 300, so that's his fault. The fact that he doesn't want to fight, but he wants to play with rugby He wants to play with rugby players by tackling them. Especially McGregor fumbled the bag for UFC 300.
How do you feel about the fight, the main event, Pereira versus Hill?
It ends by a knockout by Alex Pereira.
Of course it does.
This is where I have to disagree with both of you guys. Jamal Hill wins. The hand speed.
And what happens if it doesn't go by unanimous decision? Ask the question that.
I mean, I just think, look, Pereira got knockout power. He touches him in the chin, he could potentially knock him out cold, but he just looks a little bit slow at light heavyweight. Jamal Hill, you saw what he did to Glover. Jamal Hill is better than people say or people think.
To me. Mm-hmm. Listen to me right now. I'm about to predict this right now.
All right, let's hear it. I don't remember the last time you predicted something right, but
Pereira is going to go in the octagon and absolutely work. I mean, demolish the leg of Jamal Hill, and then he's going to knock him out in the second round.
That's my fear.
Mark my words.
The leg kicks are my fear. I'm not gonna lie. That's the one thing.
Demolish his legs. Bad.
Yes. I think Jamal Hill's gonna make him pay for trying to spam some leg kicks. I think Hill's gonna catch him. I don't think stylistically, I think Hill's gonna be tough because it's gonna be a striking match. Essentially, Jamal Hill got power. You saw what he did to Glover. He's had a decent run. He became a champion. He got injured with the Achilles. Bad move for him to be playing basketball outside of fighting. But I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna get to close the distance again against Pereira, and he's gonna land big. I could see him potentially even knocking out Pereira.
No.
What do you think about that, Chris?
It's gonna be ugly.
Honestly, like knocking out Pereira, well, for starters, he's no Israel Adesanya, but he tried to knock out Teixeira, but even though he left him bleeding, but he did not knock him out.
It's going to be an interesting one. How do we feel about UFC 300, the whole card in general? You have Charles Oliveira versus Saryukin. We got Aljo versus Cater. We got Hiri versus Rakic. Zhang Wei Li versus Yan. We got some decent fights.
It's a great card.
Oliveira versus Zakarukian. Let me say something. It's going to be a 10 out of 10 good fight. Yuri versus Rakic, 10 out of 10. The Chinese ladies, I give it a 3 out of 10. And Sterling versus Cater, I give it a 9 out of 10.
No, that's I like the card in general. It's not too bad. Any last thoughts, Chris? Because we do have another caller waiting.
You know, the fact that I just want to say, whether you like it or not, Trey, when John Jones falls down to the ground, when the veteran Chris strikes, I'm going to be the one laughing and you're going to be the one crying all the way to Burger King eating all the Whoppers. So that's not my fault. It's going to be your fault. Goodbye, fat.
we
Nobody even
have
pays attention to what that guy's saying. That guy's a loser.
Joe De Jesus in the building. What's up, Joe?
I think Pereira's gonna knock Jamal Hill right out. Honestly.
All right, let's talk about this main event. I guess this is a topic of discussion. No
Yeah.
chance for Jamal Hill. Is that what you guys are saying?
I'm not saying no chance. I just watched his last fight just to look. His punches are too wide. He throws looping punches. I think Pereira's just gonna catch him with a left hook and just knock him out. Literally, it's that simple.
I think what Trey mentioned earlier might be the key to success for him. The leg kicks do scare me a ton, man. He has the most not telegraphed kicks in the UFC right now. Speaking of Pereira, but if Adesanya was able to knock out Pereira, he could find the shot, and especially at light heavyweight at a heavier weight. I'm a little bit intrigued to see how Jamal Hill does. I wonder what the odds are going to be. I wonder what you guys think it will be. Is it going to be Hill being the favorite, Pereira being the favorite?
Heck no.
Nah, I bet it'll open up. I bet Pereira will open up as a minus 220 favorite.
Oh,
185 favorite.
Then in that case, I'm about to make some money on Jamal Hill. I feel pretty strongly that he's gonna get the job done.
I doubt it, buddy.
He's been disrespected a lot lately. He's taking it personally.
Nice.
You saw what Hawani said about him. Again, he beat Pereira's mentor in Glover Teixeira. You saw what he did to Johnny Walker.
How old was he? 50 years old? I mean, come on, pal.
You could call him the BK, the Brazilian killer. I think Pereira is next. He got Johnny Walker on his resume. He got Glover. Why not Pereira?
No chance.
Because Pereira's different. He's not Glover, and he's for sure isn't Johnny Walker.
I don't know how many nukes there are in the world, but I know Alex Pereira possesses 2 of them. Okay, I can promise you that much.
Yeah, it's that bad. So I don't see that. Like Dana was on the Nelk podcast. I don't know, Miller, if you saw that podcast with Dana White on it, but Dana was on that Full Send podcast talking about he was so excited. He was getting me hyped for it, and then he announced the Chinese people and Pereira versus Jamal Hill. I mean, come on.
Well, China getting no love tonight, huh?
Not at all. So yeah, I think that's gonna be. But listen, the stream is called UFC 298 recap. We haven't talked about Paulo Costa yet, so I want to.
Oh, interesting one. Okay,
I want to talk about.
You want to know why, Joe? You want to know why, Joe? Because we don't talk about fights that Miller gets wrong because he tries to brush over them as fast as he can.
Let's talk about it. We could talk about. Wait, I picked Whitaker to win.
No, you didn't.
I promise you I did. So this guy's so out of touch.
There's no chance you picked Whitaker to win.
Are we? I got witnesses.
I need a clip right now.
Everybody,
no chance you did.
Everybody in the chat, if you watched the actual live stream, if you wasn't under Drew's armpit watching UFC 298, you would have known that. I picked Whitaker to win. I know Drew holds you like this, just like this, and just goes.
What do you mean?
When Volkanovski lost, when Sean Strickland lost.
That's how your wife carries you when y'all walk to the car. Stop that.
Listen, I was right about Whitaker. I was right about Topuria. I had my head held high. Going back to Whitaker Costa, Whitaker won, but did Paulo Costa win the moral victory?
Why?
I don't think he won the moral victory, but I think he just showed everyone that he's still Paulo Costa. He can still knock out anybody, I think, and he's still nice. Like I said earlier, he just needs better coaching. Because I couldn't understand why he was getting countered with the same 1-2 50 times by Whitaker. I don't know why the coach didn't tell him to make the adjustment. I don't know why he didn't make the adjustment earlier in the fight. And then on top of that, he wasn't even throwing. He wasn't throwing any combos. But whenever he did throw, it looked like he was dangerous. Whenever he was really throwing with bad intentions, he looked dangerous. So I don't understand why he just wasn't throwing. That was kind of a bummer for me. I was really wanting him to win. But he still looked good, and that's still my boy.
Maybe a controversial take, but to what you said, hear me out. Although Paulo Costa lost, I think his stock went more up than Whitaker's after this past weekend. Paulo Costa looks like there's some upside. He has to figure out how to stop the leg kicks, but he was hurting Whitaker whenever he caught him. He's a little bit ring rust is a factor. In the last 5 fights, he's canceled like 3 of them. He hasn't been that much active. Against Luke Rockhold, the fight was too close where I thought this guy's career was done. He went toe-to-toe with Whitaker in a 3-round fight and almost knocked him out in the first round.
Yeah,
His
I
stock
agree.
went more up than Whitaker. Am I tripping?
It didn't go. No, it didn't go down. His stock definitely didn't go down at all.
We have seen Paulo Costa at his peak. He will never get better than this. When you look at Paulo
Stop
Costa
it.
these days, I want you to
Stop it.
look and think about this name every time you see Paulo Costa,
Oh gosh.
because this is who he is in the UFC now.
No, I don't think so. He looked
Wait,
great.
wait. Yes, it is. This is who he is in the UFC. He is the modern day Yoel Romero in the UFC.
Wow. That's kind of a good take though, because Yoel Romero was a dog his entire career. So yes, Paulo
Right.
Costa is a dog. You're right, Trey.
And fought for the title a few times.
Mid-level fighter, mid-level on
Misses
the mic.
weight.
The fans kind of like him for some reason. Misses weight.
Dirty boxing.
Kind of a weirdo. You don't understand him really.
A weirdo.
Boring in the ring most of the time. Yep.
Don't
This is,
forget Jesus. Don't forget Jesus.
I think Costa, hear me out, is 2 fights away from fighting for the title.
Miller, I completely agree with you. I think he can get a title. I think he can beat the champ.
I think
100%.
I think he could potentially beat Sean Strickland as well too. I think he could beat Hamza. I think he wins 2 fights with the name that he is. 2 more fights, he could fight for the title. He went toe-to-toe with Whitaker. Whitaker only lost to champions, Dricus and Adesanya.
Whitaker, for the 50th time, I've been saying this. Whitaker has done nothing impressive. Y'all hype him up because he lost to Izzy. That's what y'all give him praise for.
Izzy has been one of the most dominant champions of recent years.
And now we're sitting here giving Paulo Costa credit, talking about how his stock went up
His stock
because
went
he lost to Robert Whitaker.
That's a big deal.
What are we doing?
Robert Whitaker almost beat Adesanya in their last outing. I know he got knocked out in the first one, but the second one was pretty damn close. Wasn't it a split decision? I don't know if it was a split decision. Might have been unanimous, but it was a close fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight.
I'm about, to
And
hang up. I'm about to hang up on this call.
We're giving him credit because he was the UFC champion for a minute. in that division.
Paulo Costa has been inactive. For him to do that well against Whitaker, if anything. Oh, you heard what Dana White said. You heard what Dana White said. Listen, he hasn't been in the octagon that much, but when he shows up, he's good. He looked big in the division. He's a good fighter. Dana White was happy about him. I think that goes to show.
Whitaker is so far out of his prime, it's not even funny. He's so far past his prime, it's not even funny. So please stop. And Paulo still lost to him. Paulo still lost.
Like I said, you give him a good coach. He gets in there, he fixes some things up. He fights a couple more times, gets more comfortable in the ring there from being out a long time. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Any fight that headlining, listen, any card with Paulo Costa on it, I'll be watching that card. 1,000%.
Everybody is.
Great.
He's a fan. He's a fan favorite. He's one of the biggest stars in the UFC.
Yeah, y'all and 36 other people will be tuned in, glued to the TV.
He's not top 10 stars in the UFC right now. Like as far as big names.
No.
As far as big names. 100%. 100%. You got to put the champions you got to put John Jones. You don't even have to mention John Jones. He's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You got to say Islam, Leon,
John Jones,
Islam, Leon, Pereira. You can't. John Jones is 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
John Jones.
Give me names that are above Paulo Costa. I gave you guys 3. Islam, Leon, Pereira.
Patty's above him.
Stop it.
I'm dead serious. That's one of the lower ones. But Patty's above
you
him, 100%.
you also got to give me names that have a chance at winning a title. That's not Patty. So we got 3 guys right now.
Sean O'Malley, Leon.
Sean O'Malley, right?
Who else?
Islam Makhachev, Sean Strickland, big name.
Sean Strickland.
Adesanya.
Let me look at this.
Ilya.
Ilya right now. Well,
Ilya.
Ilya's like the face right now. You can't name 10 guys above Kosa as far as
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski's done. His stock is plummeted.
Yeah, and he's still above him, Miller. He's still above him.
No.
Miller, his stock could plummet for the next year, and he would still be above him.
No,
We've already determined that that's not the case. That is not the case.
We're talking about popularity. I mean, it is what it is.
We're talking about popularity.
Max Holloway is bigger than him. Duplessis is bigger than him.
Is Max Holloway bigger than him? Is Max Holloway bigger than him? Is Max Holloway bigger than Paulo Costa as far as popularity?
1,000%.
Where's Hito when you need him? No, definitely not. Where's Hito when you need him? Who has more followers, Paulo Costa or Max Holloway? I would assume it's Max Holloway. Am I tripping?
Derek Lewis is bigger than him.
It's gotta be Max Holloway.
I don't think so. Let me see real quick. I think this is a great question.
It's gotta be.
I bet Holly Holmes is bigger than him. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on real quick. This is a big deal. If he's a bigger name than Max Holloway, I think that proves my point because that's a big name right there. Max Holloway currently has just to get an idea. Damn, Max Holloway has
Instagram followers.
Max Holloway has 3.6. Jeez Louise. How much
is it?
Damn. Paulo Costa has 1.5. So yes, Max Holloway is bigger. For some reason I thought that Paulo Costa was bigger. But besides those names, that's it.
Yeah.
No, but I like Trey's take. I like Trey's take that he's like Yoel Romero. I like that because he beat Yoel Romero in that dog fight. And if he's the new Yoel Romero, who's a dog, I kind of like that. That means he's going to be here every single year, every single fight. He's a threat. That means every single fight, people are there to watch him. Because they know something might happen.
You guys don't think he could win 2 fights and fight for the title?
100% he can.
You don't think people will want to see that?
No.
100% he can. That's still my boy.
Who would he beat? Who would he have to beat to do that? He's got to have like impressive wins. Why would he fight somebody bigger than Robert Whittaker if he just lost to them? So that's
the thing. He had a close fight against Robert Whittaker, who's what, number 2 in the division right now. So he's right there.
He lost.
He almost knocked out. He almost knocked him out.
But he didn't. And he lost.
We understand, but it wasn't like he got wobbled in the fight.
The only people above Costa right now is Vettori Cannonier.
And he beat Vettori. He beat Vettori. I don't care.
Well,
they robbed him. They robbed him.
Nah. He didn't beat Vettori. He lost to Vettori.
He did. They robbed him.
But Costa,
he did the same thing he did in this past fight. Didn't throw anything.
I guess that's a Yoel Romero similarity. He has vicious kicks. You know who could be the common denominator? Henry Cejudo's coach. Because I didn't hear no anxiousness, no anxiety to hey, Costa, you're down on the cards. You need to go for a knockout. If he just simply has more output, if he figures that out, he's a dangerous fighter.
1,000%.
Get his stamina up, dude. He can't breathe out there.
It didn't seem like he was that tired.
That's not true. That's not true. He didn't. Well, he wasn't tired. No, he wasn't. I think he's scared of getting tired, maybe, and so he's not throwing that much because he's scared of getting tired, maybe. But he wasn't tired.
That's a great.
I think he left. He didn't leave it all out there on fight night. He didn't leave it all out there.
He left unscathed.
Exactly.
He left unscathed. I think you give him another shot against Whittaker, he potentially even beats Whittaker. And I picked Whittaker to win. But if they were to fight, I don't know, a year from now or 6 months, and I had to bet on that fight, I think Costa gets it done. Again, ring rust is a big deal. He has been out for quite some time, but now that he's back, he's a contender.
He's not a contender.
No?
I'll shut that down right now. He's definitely not a contender.
He's not a contender, but Volk deserves a rematch.
I'm telling y'all right now.
Right.
Paulo won't sniff the belt until 2026 or later.
I mean, he doesn't have that many miles on him. He's been chilling. Any last thoughts, Joe, before we get out of here? We've been live for 1 hour and 35. Jeez Louise.
Nah, Anthony Hernandez too. You guys didn't mention him. That was my lock of the night.
You did say that.
We don't talk about bums, Joe. We don't care about bums.
So we shouldn't talk about Volkanovski anymore because that's what essentially he's become.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. That was the face of the UFC.
Any last thoughts, Joe?
Nah, that's it.
Much love, Joe. Thank you. You saw that Joe was the latest short on our channel. I mean, we're getting some big names on the channel. Let's go.
I'm trying to tell y'all, I be spitting in here, and my power slap take will come around.
All right, that's where I gotta go. Joe, love you, man.
Love you.
All right, Trey, we've had another great show. Honestly, Trey, some great viewership today, more than the past 2 months. And maybe it has been because I threw the shades on. I don't know. I might look better in the shades than you
Doubt
do.
it. I doubt it. No,
that
it's because
could-
I got the new. It's because I got the new ones. Actually, shout out to Tifosi for sending
You,
them.
you know what we're gonna do, Trey? You know what we're gonna do? You have
What are we
been
gonna do?
we have been starting the latest streams with you opening the show. I think although you have had bad takes, you've been entertaining enough. I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna let Trey close the show. I'm gonna step to the side. He can say whatever he wants. We'll look how happy he is. Look at him. Look at him. He's like, thanks, Dad. You can tell the look in his face. He's just elated. Guys, thank you for another good show. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to Wedgie's Golf Company. Guys, videos and shorts almost every day. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Hit the bell for post notifications. I'm out. Trey has the floor.
Look at that. How about it? Miller switching it up on me last second. That's another wrap up for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Take
Look how happy he
notice.
is.
Take notice. We are witnessing history. This is a new era in the UFC. Leon is your longest reigning champion right now. Can you freaking believe that? That was just a short time ago. And now a new leaf is turning. We have a bunch of new champions. We have exciting divisions. Divisions so exciting that we don't need to be jumping around. We don't need to be going everywhere with it. We don't need to be playing Frogger with all the champions, seeing who can double up and triple up their belts every time, because then we have stuck divisions. Then we have people confused, and then they don't want to fight in that division, but they wanted the belt, now they're relinquishing the belt. Then we have title fights with this person. Listen, it's too much to deal with. We don't want to deal with it. With that being said, another week closes. Hey, this is the #1 MMA commentary channel on YouTube. And yeah, you guessed it. It's because I'm on it. I'm the source. I'm the king. I'm the one who gets it done. We'll be back again next week. Miller's going to be posting shorts and videos all this week. Like, subscribe, comment. Remember, follow Wedgie's Golf Co. I'm shouting it out again.